In 1985, Alex Didier and a group of community leaders came together to create the Central Minnesota Community Foundation. They didn't know what the needs were going to be down the road, but they knew that if they created a foundation to be there, it would make a difference. And I guess today, especially as we reflect back on the last year, a year of turmoil and economic challenges, it's good to see that they were right. Alex and the founders of the foundation were correct in their belief that if they created the Central Minnesota Community Foundation, it could serve as a resource to help people during these difficult economic times. That truly it could be an institution that engages people, connects resources, and builds community. Our focus last year was first to look internally and see what it is we needed to do to strengthen our organizational structure.
It really meant kind of battening down the hatches, if you will, to make sure that we ended up in the black for the year.
And then to really focus on what we needed to do to help the community.
In the last year in particular, I found that the Community Foundation is genuinely interested in helping people through some of this challenging economic times.
The foundation also continued its support of the Good Samaritan Fund, and with Dave Marquardt at the helm and an incredible board of volunteers, they raised over $60,000 to really help the neediest of the needy in our community. And in addition to that, they received a major grant from the Otto Bremer Foundation.
You know, we provide opportunities at the Good Samaritan Fund to help people today. Our mission is to help one-time emergency situations to help prevent a crisis.
Another important way the foundation engaged people over the last year is with the Volunteer Summit. This was an idea that Brian Myers had to really raise the bar on volunteerism in our community, especially given the economic downturn. And it brought together over 130 people to really talk about what's already happening in our community and how do we take it to the next level.
Greg Vendel was the facilitator, and we had table hosts, and we got a lot of excitement going about volunteerism in the community. And so now there's a smaller group of people working on the results of that day. We intend to have another volunteer summit to kind of bring back what we've done so far with it and see how we take this to the next level and really make Central Minnesota the place in the nation for not only building social capital, but for giving back to the community.
In the past, we've defined building community as building primarily financial capital that supports the good work in the community. The way that we're broadening that understanding of build community is that we say a way that we build community is to build social capital, the connections and relationships that we have with one another.
One of the closest partners the foundation has in the community is United Way of Central Minnesota. And we work very closely with Noreen Dunnels and all of the members of her team to support the work that they do in the community. And in particular this last year, they've had a major focus on responding to the needs in our community, and they did that through an initiative called Feed Our Families.
And we planned a Feed Our Families event, which happened in late March. And in 2 months, we recruited more than 200 volunteers, and Coburn's built the largest food castle that we know of anyway, and we're able to, between dollar contributions that the Community Foundation and other foundations provided and volunteers, raise more than 500,000 pounds of food that went to the local food shelves, both the Salvation Army and Caritas food shelf.
Another part of engaging people and connecting resources and building community is the work that the Minnesota Real Estate Foundation does in central Minnesota. And though last year we saw the real estate gifting trail off somewhat. We are excited about a new partnership that was created this last year with the Minneapolis Foundation, the St. Paul Foundation, and the Minnesota Community Foundation. It really will help the Minnesota Real Estate Foundation connect and engage new donors who will use real estate as a way to impact and make a difference in the community. The foundation, thanks to the growth we've experienced in years past, was able to distribute over $5.6 million and invest that money in this community in a variety of different ways. And then new money that came into the organization was over $7.2 million. And in a year when the market was down, we think that was just tremendous to see the outpouring of support where people didn't stop giving. They still maintained their level of giving, especially in this time of need. In addition to the $7.2 million, we had over $15 million in deferred gifts that were established. So that makes a combined total of $22 million in total philanthropy in central Minnesota last year. That is really exciting because, again, it shows the generosity of the people of this region and that people are not just thinking about today, they're also thinking about the future and the future needs of this community.